USA Visitors Visa Sponsor Documents. If you are sponsoring a visa, or inviting parents or relatives to the U.S., certain documents are required of you. These documents should be filled out and sent to the applicant you are sponsoring to help support their case. Here are the documents you will need to fill out as a sponsor. Affidavit of Support Form. Form I-134, Affidavit of Support Form. Letter of Invitation. Letter of invitation addressed to the visa applicant. Letter to U.S. Consulate. Letter to the U.S. Consulate requesting that a visa be granted to the person you are sponsoring. Financial documents. Financial documents are used to demonstrate your financial ability as a sponsor. These documents include 2 recent bank statements. Signed bank account verification letter to prove your bank account and bank balance. 1 or 2 recent copies of your pay stubs. Copies of a few recent income tax returns or your last few W-2 forms. If you are self-employed or a business owner, provide a copy of your personal tax return. Sponsor's residency status in the USA. Copy of passport. Signed letter of employment on company letterhead stating your nature of work and whether permanent or temporary, if the sponsor is an employee in the USA. If you are a visa holder, provide copies of your visa, Form I-797, and I-94. If visa has expired but has a renewed petition, also include a photocopy of the renewed petition. Copies of green card, front and back, if you are a green card holder. Copy of certificate of citizenship if U.S. citizen by naturalization. For parents visiting their children in USA. If parents are visiting their children in the United States, the sponsoring child must also provide the following documents. Birth certificate of the sponsoring child. If birth certificate is not readily available, an affidavit may be helpful. Copy of the passport of the sponsoring child. Some important questions and answers. As a sponsor, do I need to send my documents directly to a VFS or U.S. consulate? Or will the applicant carry the documents to the consulate at the time of their interview? As a sponsor, you should send your documents to the applicant, and the applicant will bring them to the consulate for the interview. Do I need to send a separate I-134 form for each visitor? If persons applying for a visitor visa are immediate family, such as a husband, wife, and their children, then you do not need to send separate forms. One form is sufficient, and the same form will have space to provide the entire family's details. How much minimum savings balance is sufficient to show in my bank account as a sponsor? There is no official limit or set rules for a minimum balance requirement for your bank account. Any amount that can justify the overall cost involved to support the trip and your financial ability to take care of the expenses related to trip will do. Typically, any amount over $5,000 should be sufficient, however, more is always better.